Okay? He's not actually telling truth for truth's sake. He's telling a half-truth in order to deceive the Egyptians into believing that Sarah does not have the relationship with Abram that he, in fact, does have, so that they won't kill him. It's a treacherous move of Abraham. It's a betrayal of his wife and a demonstration of his lack of trust in God. Now, it gets worse. This plot from Abraham, it is hatched because it's not only that he's afraid, he has a preemptive fear. Okay, notice in this text, this comes right on the heels of Genesis 12, 1 through 9. Yes? And in Genesis 12, 1 through 3, what we saw was God said to Abraham, I will bless you, and anyone that blesses you, what will God do? He will bless them. And anyone that curses you, what will happen? I'll curse them. And in you, all of the families of the earth will be blessed. So there's a couple pieces of information from that. One is, God is interested through Abraham to bless everyone. Yes? And there is an open-ended question of who is going to receive Abram well and who's not going to receive him. And God says to Abraham, I will protect you. And so much so, God says, I'm not playing games. If anyone rejects you, I will curse them. So now Abram finds himself in Egypt. Is there any indication other than Abram's unreliable narrator voice that the Egyptians are going to, in fact, murder him to steal his wife? There's no indication of that. Now, it's possible that they might have. But notice, Abram just totally robs the Egyptians of the opportunity, and he doesn't trust God, who just said to him that if they come after you, Abram, I'll take care of you. But if they bless you, I will bless them. And Abram just denies that. He is preemptively afraid of the Egyptians. He's afraid that they'll be hostile, and that preemptive fear of men causes him to compromise in his trust and his loyalty to God. So if adversity creates an environment in which compromise is possible, then a preemptive fear of man will cause the actual opportunity for that compromise to be acted on. So again, is it wrong for you to be in a place of adversity? No. There's a certain wrong if you begin to conclude that God doesn't care about you. But then if that causes you to distrust God and act on that distrust and do wrong things to try to secure your own well-being rather than trust God to give it to you, that's a greater wrong. Do you see that? There's an application for us here. Do not live your life in fear of people. It will cause you to compromise in your faith in God. Right? It's a normal thing. We are all afraid of a great many things, people included, yes? We fear what people will do to us. Maybe they'll hurt us. Maybe they'll mock us. Maybe they'll ignore us. Maybe they'll reject us. Maybe they'll hate us. They might even kill us. But the Bible is very clear over and over and over and over and over again that people are not to be feared. God is to be feared. People are not to be feared. God is to be feared. People are just people, and God is God. God said to Abraham, I will bless you. I will make you a great nation. I will bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you. And then Abram looks at the Egyptians, and he's afraid of them, and that fear of them causes him to not fear God. And that lack of fear of God causes him to lie and deceive and try to secure his own well-being because he doesn't trust God. Augustine, and when he wrote his book, The City of God, he spends some time mapping out the culture of the Roman Empire. And his analysis of the Roman Empire was that the Romans cared only about glory, exclusively. If they were going to do something that would not result in honor and glory from other people, accolades from other people, they wouldn't do that thing. And Augustine says that in a certain sense that was a good thing, because that one great vice they had kept at bay many other nastier, lesser vices, because they only cared about honor. But then he says this. I highlighted, underlined this in my copy of City of God. It's something that I desire to live by that's very hard to. He says, when all the boasting is done, what is any man but just another man? And even though a crooked world may come to admit that men should be honored only according to merit, even human honor would be of no great value. It is smoke that weighs nothing. People are not to be feared. God is to be feared. Now, I want to be very careful about something here. Is it wrong to be afraid? No. No, it's not. Fear, again, it is the occasion or opportunity to compromise. It is not the compromise itself. It is the opportunity. And the sticky thing about fear is that it's actually the only opportunity for courage. Have you ever thought about this? There's no such thing as courage if you're not afraid. There's a big illusion that people have sometimes. Some of you believe that other people don't experience fear. And the reason that other people make the choices that they make is because they do not experience fear, but you do. And that's why you do the things that you do. But that's not the case. Everybody experiences fear. It is human to experience fear. And anyone that thinks that they never experience fear, they're either profoundly ignorant and lacking in self-awareness, or they're just a liar, or they're not human. People are afraid of all kinds of things. And it's not bad to acknowledge that. Ben told me not to do this because he doesn't like this movie. But if you've ever seen the movie Batman vs. Superman, The Dawn of Justice, Ben loves that movie. He just loves it. It's like one of his favorites. There's this point where Batman decides he's going to attack Superman. And part of the reason is that he views Superman as like a lower G god. And he doesn't think that Superman has the capacity to understand what it's like to be human. And so he fears Superman. He wants to kill him. And there's this point when they get into this fight, and Batman says to him, "You're not brave, men are brave." And the point is, he thinks Superman can't experience fear. Now, he's totally mistaken, and if you want to get into a long discussion about the moral teachings of DC Comics, I'd be totally happy to do that with you. But the point here is that there's a truth, though, to that statement, that people are brave when they are afraid. So it's not enough for you to just say, well, I'm afraid, and therefore I don't have to. No. The Bible, when it says to you, when God says to Joshua, be strong and courageous, it's not because there's nothing to fear. Joshua's going to go into the land of Canaan, and there are literally giants living there. And Joshua's going to have to contend with unbelievably brutal, barbaric, wicked people. And his life's going to be in danger. And then God says to him, be strong and courageous. That command makes no sense if there's nothing to be afraid of. It's not wrong to be afraid, but it is wrong if you use your fear as an excuse to sin, as an excuse to disbelieve God, as an excuse to live in fear instead of trust God. And you can't say that it's like, well, just because I'm afraid. Well, everybody's afraid. Like, I'm afraid. I often have to get up in front of a group of people that I love and respect and want the good view of, and I have to say things that might piss some of them off. And I don't have no fear of that. Courage is what you do when you are afraid. And when you live in fear of other people, then you will compromise in your faith and trust in Christ and your loyalty to Him. You will take matters into your own hands. You will seek to preemptively manipulate other people so that you can control their view of you, so that you don't have to potentially experience a negative reaction from them. But that's not loving toward them, that's self-loving. It's narcissistic. There's a counterintuitive irony. It is only when I do not fear somebody else, and by fear there I mean act on my fear. It is only when I will not act on my fear toward somebody else that I can actually really love them. Because it's the only time that I can act toward another person with truth. It's the only time that I can act toward another person without an ulterior motive of trying to control them so that I don't get hurt. When you live in fear of other people, then you are going to compromise in truth. You're going to do manipulative things. You're going to lie. You're going to be deceitful.